Hello there, friends. It's Simone. Today I would like to share my best purchases, decisions in stationery, art supplies, fountain pens, cases, covers, planners, and then also go a little bit off that physical aspect and talk about things that were the best that happened in community building and my personal life. And so that's a lot. I filled 3 B6 pages, and so we'll start right away with the stationery category. And the first thing I would like to talk about is, in this case, is my best stamp purchases of the year are clearly these Everyday Explorer Co. clear stamps. I have started my stamping journey with clear stamps, and so they come very easily to me. I can pull out one of those pouches, put them close to me, and I use them more than I actually use my wooden stamps. And so this is my best stamp purchase, and this is my worst purchase of the year for stamps. And it is not because the design is ugly. I purchased this stamp primarily because I love the design. I think it's so super clever, and I bought it on a whim because I wanted to support Yoseka and Othen, and then I had it and I never used it for at least 6 months. I have just recently found a way to use these stamps. Also, when I'm using fountain pens and inks, I always use or mostly use Tomoe River paper, and stamping on Tomoe River paper is a pain in the ass because it always bleeds through, at least for me, with inks that are water resistance, because if I color in a stamp and I get to the edge, I'm getting, if I'm not using a waterproof ink, I'm getting smudges and stuff, and I don't want that. But I have recently found a way to use this. We just a couple days ago started a pen parade, and I loved it, and I decided to use the stamp for it. And so what I've been doing is I've been using my VersaFine stamp pad because I just love how detailed it stamps. And then I stamp off on some paper and then use the secondary stamp, and so it ghosts, but it doesn't really bleed through. And yeah, I'm really liking this. I will continue using this now that I finally found a use that makes me happy. But it was a long journey, and so I still consider this my worst stamp purchase of the year. I did want to support this shop. I know we all love Yoseka, and so maybe my support wasn't necessarily needed, but that was in that moment I felt I need to buy this stamp because I wanted to support. So still, I need to think about these things more. Maybe I could have supported Yoseka in a different way, because it sat here for a long time. I felt so guilty for not using it. Now, Yoseka is on my list of worst ephemera purchases, to be real. And I'm starting out with a worst purchase. I have more, but they are not from 2023. I need to stop buying sticker sheets with tiny stickers. I don't know where to use them. I have a really, really hard time using them. I have been trying to use these stickers particularly for the last month, and I have not had a good idea on how to make them work in my weekly journal. Same with this one. I pulled out this one because this one I actually purchased to give away. I haven't done that yet. I have my own sticker sheet in here, and I actually found a way to use it. I'm going to use it just as basically a cluster with these label stickers. And I like that idea very much, but look how tiny these stickers are again. I don't write tiny, I write quite big, and this just doesn't really work that well with my tiny handwriting. Even though, again, I love the design of the sticker sheet so much. That's why I purchased it. I wouldn't have purchased it if I didn't like it. My support doesn't go that far that I would purchase something just to support if I didn't like the design. So yeah, I'm really, I need to stop, and I didn't, besides these two sticker sheets, and I think this was purchased at the end of 2023, I didn't really purchase any sticker sheets. I really kept my ephemera purchases very, very, very small. And that's the best thing that happened is when I felt the urge to purchase ephemera, I went to my stash and went through those things that I already have and discovered how much I like them and how much I really want to make an effort to use them. So that would be, it's not a purchase, but maybe I'm shopping my own stash instead of shopping from shops that I have supported years past and I haven't used their items yet. One more stationery thing that is the worst. You know, I wouldn't have purchased it if I didn't like it. So it's not the worst. PET tapes, washi tapes in general. I just don't use them enough to purchase them. But with PET tapes in general, I put them in my drawer and then they're forgotten. And then I use stickers, I use other ephemera, but I never grab these. My friend Amy just recently showed me that she at night, sometimes when she watches TV or when she doesn't really have anything to do and sits there, she takes these rolls and cuts them out and puts them in her sticker release insert. And she told me that she has had quite success with actually then using those cut out pieces. And I'm very, very strongly considering doing exactly that. And I'm seeing that this has a bauble here. It looks very Christmassy actually, so I might just put this with my December stuff. But that's an idea that I really want to try out because I have a lot of those. No, I don't. I actually was really good in just purchasing a small amount of PET tapes. So I don't have an overwhelming amount of stash, but those rolls are humongous. And so I will have a long time to use them, and maybe I'll try that and see how that works for me. But, I couldn't have a worst washi tape purchase if I didn't have a best. And this I purchased after I finished 30 Inks 30 Days in September. Well, maybe that I need to talk about that too, because that is a worst personal decision. And this is a washi tape calendar. And what this is I don't know if they're all different illustrations, but I have been eyeing Dodo Lulu for the longest time. I love her whimsical characters. I very much relate to these ladies. They don't look stylish. They look like me. And I just love this. So there is a washi thing for every day of the year of 2024. It is dated in the sense of that January 1st, Monday, means that if you wanted to use this in another year, it would have to fall on that day. But as you can clearly see, the date is not connected to the person whatsoever. So I could just cut this out and use this separately. And yeah, I have never purchased from Dololulu before, and I saw this and I thought, this is it. I'll purchase this, and my idea is to use this either in my writing journal, where I just use a sticker to indicate the day and then there is no decoration whatsoever. I could use this in my weekly journal when I journal, and I don't have to use all of them, just one or two or none at all. I could use this to date letters, and I could cut around, use this. If I see one that I don't use anywhere, I can cut around and send this as ephemera to friends. With 65 illustrations, I can be very, very generous in giving away the ones that maybe don't work for me, maybe I haven't used. And so I'm so excited to start using this. This is definitely my best washi purchase of 2024. And if this is going to be around in 2025, maybe from a different maker, I would totally go for that again. Well, we'll talk at the end of 2024 and see how this actually worked out. Art supplies. This is probably, I think, my biggest, well, besides pens that were expensive, fountain pens, my biggest regret purchasing this year is purchasing the folio palette from Art Toolkit. And there is no other reason for that than I actually think, so I set it up this past week and it's not sorted great, so I would have to do some more work, but I just felt so overwhelmed by all of those colors. There was a mixing tray here, there was another placeholder here, a bigger, what is that? A bigger pan. And this is also something that I realized over this past year, and I think I mentioned it in my 2023 best of. I purchased very, very many specialty watercolors instead of sticking with basic colors. So I don't really have a I have a cool yellow. This is a yellow ochre, so let's call this a warm yellow, but I don't really have the basic colors covered in tubes, but I have so many specialty colors. And if I were to go back, I would change that absolutely. And so this is full of very many specialty colors, and they just don't really do it for me. I would actually love a more basic palette. And so then this was so much overkill. And the other thing that went into that hesitation and not wanting to use this is because I am so set in my ways of using this, the Superior Labor, what is this called? Leather tool pouch. This is my watercolor set, sketching, watercoloring. I have everything that I need in here, and it works so beautifully well for me. One thing that usually goes in here as well is my fountain pen with document ink, and now it's a little bit fat, but it works. It still closes, and this is how I have set it up. And this palette, the one that I had purchased in 2022, fits in here perfectly. This one doesn't. And so if I wanted to use this palette, I would have to change this whole setup, and I am just not in the right mindset to do that right now. This is another worst purchase because I then went ahead and purchased a case to accommodate this palette. And yes, it would work, but it's just too big. There's not enough stuff that I use for this. And so I have it left over. I am not going to get rid of this because it actually is a really great thing to move this in here when I'm traveling, because then I can add scissors, I can add glue, I maybe can add a little bit of ephemera, maybe 1 or 2 more pens, maybe this one, or stamp pad and a stamp. So this is not going anywhere because it totally serves a need, but it's not going to be used for the intended purpose. I was way too fast in purchasing this. And what I should have done, instead of purchasing this folio palette that was driven by the Travelers Company release of their golden palette, which I didn't get in any of the releases, I purchased this one so I could put on stickers, and I did. So now I'm thinking, do I sell this? Do I keep this? I'm not sure. What I should have done instead, and because I purchased this palette empty and needed to buy more pans to fill this, I now was able to fill up this palette fully. I think I had like maybe half, maybe up to here was the amount of pans I had to fill. And now I have so many more. And this palette is fresh and new. It houses more pans. Maybe it's not the perfect colors yet. I just did this last night. But I feel so much better about this palette and using this than I do with this. I felt a hesitation from the start. That's why it actually took me from July to the middle of November to fill this. It should have been maybe this is not the right solution for your problem. But it didn't. I needed to fill it and see that I'm not drawn to this, to then come to the idea to fill this with the pans and a more basic palette. So yeah, so I'm probably going to sell this. If you're interested, let me know. We can talk. The next big category is fountain pens, inks, and fountain pen cases. And let me pull out the fountain pens first. So my biggest purchasing regret is actually this pen. I purchased this at a time when I already knew. I have a whole video where I talk about my sad TWSBI sob story, where I already knew that I didn't want to purchase more TWSBI pens, but I bought it anyway because it was purple. But what I didn't take into consideration was that I actually don't enjoy metal grip sections. And of course, a mini AL grape has an aluminum grip section. So what ends up happening is I switched out this with a spare nib unit that I have. And now this is a clear section here. And the only purple thing that is there is the piston mechanism. And I don't get to enjoy all the purpliness that I was actually going to go for. So this, I think, was the worst purchase because I didn't listen to 2 things that I already knew. I do have 2 honorable mentions, and I did not pull out the pen that I also am like very much best. I started with the worst, but I actually have 2 best pen purchases also. 2 honorable mentions are these purchases that I made at the San Francisco Pen Show. And I think I need to be more aware in the moment when I make those purchases at pen shows. I am not hating on those pens yet. I purchased the exact same model as I already had from the San Francisco Pen Show 2022. And what I don't like about this pen is that the cap comes loose very easily, and also that the pen dries out very fast. So I'm very limited in the inks that I can use in here. And then I went to the San Francisco Pen Show. I fell in love with this pen again. I just love the weird shape. I don't know why, because it's so weird. Some people hate it for that reason. And I just fell in love with this shape because it's so odd. And I love how deeply this posts. So I got it. And I didn't really need to because I already have one at home. So that's an honorable mention, worst purchase. And then this one, it was kind of like those, I want a pen. What pen could I get? Oh, this one looks nice. And oh, it's not really that expensive. Let me buy it. I have used it once, but with a difficult nib, so I didn't enjoy the experience. It was a little bit slippery in my hand, so I am going to explore this more and see if it is a bad pen purchase, but I don't think I could have anticipated that it felt so slippery when I purchased it. So it's not something that I knew and knowingly disregarded because I wanted to buy this pen. I really like these pocket pens. I just haven't really found any that I would like. This one houses a number 6 nib, so that is a good thing. And in order to categorize this as a worst pen purchase, I will have to explore this pen more and see how I like writing with it. And then let's put these away. The best pen purchases was actually, I put this above this. This is the Lamy All-Star in Petrol. I purchased this from affiliate money when I still got credit with Atlas and I wanted to spend it on something. So I decided, why not get this with a broad nib? I'm not sure. Maybe I bought the broad nib as an aside, so maybe it's not the pen, maybe it's just the nib. But I have come to appreciate more the Lamy Safaris or Lamy All-Stars, this pen shape, as a beginner fountain pen or a workhorse pen for some inks that I don't want to put in more expensive pens. The broad nib worked so well. I enjoyed it so immensely. And now I have the 1.5 stub on here with a shimmer and sheening in ink, and it performs really nicely, which I never expected to happen. And so this is a very surprising best pen purchase of 2023. Another one is this one. This is the Schoen Design Monarch Ultim pen. I could have purchased just the nib, but I wanted to get this specific pen as well. I have come to like this pen more than my first impression, for sure. And this is also an honorable mention fountain pen purchase because I am still not 100% sure what exactly it is that I love about this pen. The nib doesn't even really perform like a fountain pen nib, especially like a gold nib. It's not bouncy at all. It is hard as a nail. The ink flow is just so amazing. And I wanted to show you this. These are my notes on this video. I wrote it with this pen. I wrote the bigger, bolder lines this way. This is medium, and then I turn it around. This is a fine. It is made to be written with this, but I still always feel super like I shouldn't do this when I write in reverse, because I feel like, why did I get this nib in the first place if I don't write with it the right way? But there is no right or wrong way. And I don't know. I just wanted to show you how lovely this looks. And I couldn't really tell you if it's worth the money for the nib, but it's definitely worth the money for the engineering. So, love this. I still, like, it's one of those, I don't really know if I love or hate this, but it's just so good. And so that's one of the honorable mention pen purchases. Inks, I have, woohoo! I guess I need to cut this out now. I have, if you've watched my videos recently, I have one 100% winner is Teranishi Guitar Gentle Green. When I saw this swatched on Brittany's Carrots and Olives channel, I immediately knew that this was probably going to be a great dupe for my actual favorite ink of the year, which is Krishna Chennai. And also just wanted to shout out Tushar. I hope this is how you pronounce your name. He's from India. He contacted me recently and said, I am going to get you a bottle of Krishna Chennai. And he's making it happen. And I'm like so grateful. This is something that I want to mention in the community aspect. This community and the openness, the love, the generosity that I have experienced this past year is just amazing. But I'm going to say this again one more time later on. So yeah, this is my favorite ink of the year if I cannot get my hands on Krishna Chennai. And as long as it looks like right now, I will probably get that ink in 2024. So that can be my favorite ink of 2024. I just love how this ink performs. It's wet. It has, on this paper, you don't really see it as much, but it has a tiny bit of sheen. It goes down teal and dries green. It looks different on all papers, and it's just so amazing. So if you can get your hands on a bottle of this or a sample, because maybe you need to test it first, I highly recommend. And then this one was actually purchased in 2023. Wearingeul was just becoming more known, and they had their inks on Amazon, and they said, we have a sale. So these bottles were 15. And so I decided to purchase 2 bottles for myself. And I purchased a blue that is just so boring, so light, and that I just don't enjoy. And I have a full bottle of this. And I'm not sure if I just want to sell this, give this away, or if I want to give it another chance in another pen. I don't know. So, worst. Best and worst. Pen cases. Fountain pen cases, to be specific. Now I need to take these pens away. The best pen case that I purchased this year was the 10-slot Galen leather pen case in, I don't know what this color name is, rose gold. And I'm filming this video at the end of November. I am slowly letting my pens run out. Well, I'm going to clean them out today, because tomorrow when I'm filming this, Inkvent starts, and I'm planning to ink up a pen with each of those inks. And yeah, then this will be more full. But I actually even prefer this pen case over the Rickshaw Sinclair that was my favorite last year. because I can lay it open like this and can just pick pens. And especially when I'm writing letters, I love to use all my fountain pens in one letter. And so having this right next to me like so is just perfect. And because I want to limit my pens to 10 each month, this is the perfect amount of slots that I have. And yeah, this was another pen show purchase. One of those, I'm leaving and I'm walking by the Vanessa table on my way out, and I have been eyeing this 10 pen slot case for about 2 years now. When I purchased my 20 slot case, I was like, maybe I should get this as well. I didn't because money. And then I walked by the table and I was like, okay, I'm stopping here. I'm buying a 10 slot pen case. And the only two that were left were this one and I think a natural leather one. And I actually wanted to get the natural leather because I wanted to see how it ages. But then I decided, what the heck, I'm going to get this. And I cannot, it comes across more brown than it actually is. It looks like an old rose, which is not my color at all, but I love this. And yes, I have taken off something here and it has this stain here, which makes me love this even more. I want this to get soft and bang up and look used, and I love it. I really wanted to get the big, well, actually what I wanted was the turquoise teal color. But I'm really happy with this one too. And now you need to keep me from not buying another one in the turquoise color. I still will be using this. I probably still am in the honeymoon phase with the 10 slot pen case. My worst purchase is these. I love them on Instagram. I love them on other people's videos. I love them so much that I purchased this and this. This one actually I purchased at Sugar Turtle Studios table at the San Francisco Pen Show. This one is directly from Rickshaw. But I'm just not the type of person to use these sleeves. And I should have known that before because I already had the one pen sleeves. I think this one I will be using for in here so that I can protect more pens. There is no single slots like here on this side, so I would probably put my cheaper pens here and my more expensive pens into these slots. So this one will get used. I just didn't anticipate that I didn't enjoy it. I just am not the person who takes two pens somewhere. I don't. And this one I have put in my retired fountain pens. So this one gets used for something, but I wish I was taking it out more, but I am not. So let's see if this is going to change over the next year. But since I purchased them at the San Francisco Pen Show, I haven't really used them, which is sad. And so worst pen purchase. I need some water. Covers. I shouldn't really even talk about this because I actually have enough covers for the rest of my life. And I think I am going to not purchase any more now. I have learned that, first of all, I do not need pockets and stuff in my journal covers. It doesn't really matter what kind of cover it is. I'm just not the type of person to use those. I find them stressful. I don't want to decorate them. Nope, not for me. I do use this one. This is a Sojourner. So this one has pockets. Again, I don't use them really. I don't really reach for what is behind here. but I really like this setup. This is the only big journal cover that I have that I use actually in almost daily. But I really like the Travelers Company's covers. However, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And with this bigger one, I have 6 standard size Traveler's Notebook covers, and that is enough. Now, I purchased 2 this year, and one is a success and one is a not success. This one, let's talk about the worst, is this one. I do not enjoy how this feels. It's a suede kind of feel, and it just doesn't really, I don't know, I just don't like it. And I knew going in that I didn't like camel colored covers. I purchased it for the design and I love the design. I'm not going to sell this, but I'm also not using it right now because I have other covers that I enjoy using more. And so I'm really sad that this is how this is going for this Traveler's Notebook cover. I'm probably going to switch into this again for a journal that I'm not using as much, just so that it gets a little bit of use. But yeah, so I actually, of these 6 Traveler's Notebook covers that I have, I'm actively using 4 of them. So I don't think I have too many. It would be awesome if I had only 4, but there's some that are just so nice. This one, because I was very afraid to purchase the olive Traveler's Notebook, and when they were first announced, I did not buy one because of the experience with this one, because I had enough. But then I saw it, another friend had it when we met up, and I really liked how it felt to the touch. I feel this olive leather cover is the closest in touch to the original brown. This one has been used since 2016, so of course this looks different, but when I originally got this, it was closest to this one. So I'm really looking forward to how this one is going to look like when it gets older. And in that same vein, I wasn't really sure if I wanted the olive, but for some reason I have been drawn to so many green things. My favorite color, ink, is green. This is green. I'm drawn to green fountain pens for some reason, so maybe my favorite color has changed and it's green now, and I should have gotten this right away. But I think I got this sometime in September when it was available at Atlas again. And I'm so happy I got this. I have been using this ever since for my long form journal, and I enjoy it so much. What else? I think I'm almost done with all the physical stuff. This is a reminder to myself. I do not have a best purchase for planners. I just want to call myself out for falling into the same trap over and over and over again. When all the planner people that sell planners come out with their pre-orders, their releases. Hobonichi is releasing on September 1st. That's 5 months before the year actually starts. And even if I think I have it all locked in at that time, it is 100% not true. I always, even if it's just a little out, I always question my choices. In November, this has happened for, I think, the last 3 or 4 years. If I go back into my YouTube history, you will see one of those panicked emergency chats. You will see, yeah, I'll link it in the cards above. Every year where I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I want to use the planners that I bought. And the same thing happened again this year. I was actually thinking of changing it all up completely. I am not doing that, but I still purchased something that I think I won't be using in 2024. And the other thing that I will be using instead is on the way to me right now. So what I'm learning, and also if I look on all the sites where there were pre-orders or when the planners were released in September, then they were sold out like this. If I look around right now, they are all available on all the sites. So maybe I wouldn't have gotten this, but really, do I really, like, would I not be able to use an ink journal if it was a plain Hobonichi Weeks? I don't think so. And I really need to maybe then just buy one of those so I don't have two and I can switch it up a little, because I am going to use one for my ink journal and one for my planner, but maybe if I hadn't had those in my stash, I would have changed it up a little bit, because maybe I don't need it, maybe it's not serving me as well as it did before. And so yeah, I want to purchase my planners and journals next year in 2024 in November. I will not fall for it. And I am not going to buy Hobonichi just to have an unboxing video that goes up to 2,000 views because I want that to happen. No, my YouTube channel is not informing my purchasing decisions. There, I said it. If I'm having an unboxing for Hobonichi next year, please call me out. So, and to be honest, if I didn't have all of these in my stash when I filmed that emergency video, I probably would have switched to the Hobonichi Cousin. The only reason why I didn't is because I didn't want to sell all of that shit. Now, the only thing I'm selling is, if you're still looking for this, reach out to me. I am selling this. It's all new. And I actually, if you're interested in this postcard, it's going to be included because I have another one of those. So that's it for all the physical stuff. Let's talk about the less materialistic things. And I actually have a lot of great things that happened. And I don't have anything to show here. Let me put this here so I can fumble with the charms. The best, oh, maybe I can turn around the camera and show you my face. How about that? Ew, I shouldn't touch this probably. My mic cable. I have my book right here and I'm almost done. Sorry for the shaky stuff. Please disregard the stuff that is back there. It's packing material for a present for my daughter that I still need to send out. All right, so the great things that happened this year was the amazing response to the 8 pen questions video. I feel like this pen community came and stepped up. It was so much fun to see all of those replies. I got to connect with so many people over that one single video. That was the best thing that happened. And it started that people joined YouTube just to answer those questions. I'm still so amazed by that. Because I felt like the YouTube comments didn't serve the need for community. I started a Discord. I was afraid that I would be overwhelmed with the managing, and auditing is not the right word. Moderating that. it's a huge task. I'm just a one-woman show. I work, I have a family, I film YouTube videos, so I can't really be there all the time. But I also really want to participate, like have that connection. That's why I made it. And so I was super afraid. I'm not blastering the Discord link all over the internet. If you want to join because you're curious now, please let me know. I will share that link. It's not a closed off community by any means. It's just a guarded community, a little bit, a hidden community, so it's not growing exponentially and I can't handle it anymore. But everyone is welcome. You don't have to be a member of my Ko-fi. You don't have to do anything. You just need to reach out and ask for the link. That's all. And also, because of those pen questions, and I need my fingers, I was able to meet up with people at the San Francisco Pen Show that I have just talked to over Discord, over YouTube comments. So many. It was awesome. It was just the best. And I actually wished we had more time to maybe sit down and talk, journal together, something that we just, we met there at the show. It was crammed. We didn't really talk a lot. And that was like the best. But also just seeing them was amazing. And then the next thing, and I forgot to mention, and that's something that I also love, that on the Discord, people are starting to join YouTube. And everybody, we all don't really have those big YouTube ambitions, but maybe there is a hidden talent that we didn't know about existed. But just seeing the videos from the people that I'm also talking to every day, it just warms my heart, and I feel like I'm sitting there with them while we talk. And that's just such a great feeling. And I'm so happy that everybody has joined and that I get to see all of those videos when I do stuff. The next thing that was really great, not materialistic, cannot even talk anymore, and is also really greatly connected to the community, is the generosity of this community. I am blown away. I have received several pens throughout the years. Kaweco's board, Twisby Eco with a 1.1 stub, a nib here, a nib there, a custom 823. Like, really, I'm still so grateful that I'm allowed to host this pen in my pen case and give it a great home. I was able to try a Sailor Pro Gear Slim and keep it. Like, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And even if you're just sending ink samples to me, I am so grateful that I get to play with all of those, that I don't have to spend my money and you maybe get rid of some of your inks, and get it to a manageable amount, which I clearly don't have that manageable amount of inks. But I'm looking down here because I have a box full of samples that I still need to swatch that were sent to me by all of you. And just the thought that I get to sit here and swatch those makes me so happy. And I'm so grateful. And I hope you keep them coming, even if it takes like 6 months until I swatch your inks. And then the last thing that was amazing and best of 2023 are some personal things that I want to share. We moved because of some weird things happening at the same time that didn't keep us at the place that we were living at. It wasn't a bad place. It was just not the right place for us, I think, because now that I'm here and I'm living in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada now, I mean, you saw the sticker. That's where I live. Every day that I look out of my window, my heart is full. And I didn't know that that you could feel that way. I'm just so happy to be here. And my mental health, even though it's like plummeted because of the bad thing that happened, just seeing the clouds, seeing the sky every day, oh my God, I didn't know it would make such a big difference. So yes, we bought a house. No, it's not ours because we're paying a mortgage. But I mean, we're getting closer to owning it at some day in the future. I'm so happy that we made this decision to come here. You can see I'm almost crying. I quit my job and found a different one that pays more, which is good, still not a lot. And the worst thing that happened is that my herniated disc that I started having problems with in 2020 has come back with a vengeance. I hyper-focused on 30 inks, 30 days, filming a video every day. I powered through this. I just could not stop. And what happened was that after that, I was so tender in my back. And then I hyper-focused on the next thing, which was knitting a hat, which is over there. And I did that for 4 days. And I was in so much pain, and I have been in so much pain ever since, that my life hasn't been the greatest. And yesterday was the first day that I didn't have pain in the morning. And maybe I'm at a turning point. So I'm very hopeful. I haven't lost hope. I'm very hopeful. And yeah, I'm hoping to be myself again sometime in the new year. It's the beginning of December. If this pain actually goes away, then I might be able to start working out, strengthening my body so that I can do all the things that I really want to do. Alrighty. Thank you so much for being part of my community, for watching my videos. One of the best, the great things for my pen budget that happened this year was that my YouTube ad money has increased because you all watch those videos. I'm so grateful for that because I can actually maybe dive into some pens that I haven't even thought I would be able to afford at the beginning of this year. So I am so looking forward to 2024. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. Thank you so much for being in my Discord. Thank you so much for reaching out and asking for the link. And I am going to see you in my next video, of course, and I hope you will be there as well. Bye. And my glasses are super dirty. Oh my gosh, what a fucking stupid video. I don't care. I'm just gonna continue.